Triple Whistle, the only podcast that talks about Genoa Cricket and Football Club in English. Powered by Genuani Siresta, our guests every week will comment the game performances, players, ratings, tops and flops, here at Triple Whistle. Welcome back on Triple Whistle, the podcast that talks about Genoa Cricket and Football Club in English. My name is Tobia Alex. I'm connected today with Alex from London and Fabrizio from Toronto, a new entry of the podcast. Welcome, Fabrizio, and welcome, Alex. How are you, Fabri?
I'm good. Thank you for having me with you guys.
And you, Alex, all good?
I'm good, mate. All good. Thank you.
All good, even after the second, but probably the very first bad defeat that Genoa had this year. We played in Reggio Calabria over the weekend, and we lost for 2-1, a really strange game and a really badly played game. We witnessed a really poor performance of Genoa right from the beginning, I'd say, when we conceded a really silly goal, leaving a player called Canotto from Reggio Calabria, from Reggina, playing basically alone and undisturbed to score a goal. We then managed to equalize in the first half with a nice header of Aramo. And then that was it, in a way, that then Reggina scored the second goal on a penalty, and Genoa completely disappeared from the pitch. Fabri, do you want to tell us a little bit more about the game and give us your impressions?
For sure, of course. So first of all, I wanted to say, I'm not saying this just to go against you, Tobia. Please don't look at it from that perspective. But I did the same mistake on my podcast on the Lanterna, where me too, I was thinking over the weekend, well, we played on Monday, but it feels like so far away based on the fact that we wanted to delete all and forget all about all these type of this bad experience that we had that ago. But yeah, so we were the last match on Monday.
You're absolutely right. I just wanted to remove and postpone it backward as much as I could. 3 months ago, we played against Reggina.
It was the same for me too, so don't worry about it. It's like, really, I wanted to forget it, so it feels so long ago. Anyways, so we started the match with the typical formation of blessing that has been going on for quite some time now. So with the 4-2-3-1, I always have to think about it because it's not my particularly type of formation. There was only two kind of surprises. One, obviously, because of the left back that we had that issue. So there was a little bit of jiggling to who were to be playing or whatnot. And Semper was the other surprise, having seen Sibora from the beginning on the left back and Semper as preferred over Martinez. And we don't necessarily know specifically why, but was very welcomed, warm welcome from all the Genoa fans. Nevertheless, the match started a little bit undertone for Genoa since the beginning. It was a little bit of back and forth on both sides. Obviously, Reggina seemed to be a little bit more waiting on what Genoa was going to be able to do. However, we didn't see much from our side, also because it was a very bad day. I guess they put some bad air in the airplane. I don't know, but the match did not sit well with us from the get-go. In fact, dinghy, which in English means canotto, I like to use that as a word. On the 16th, basically, as you said, rightfully so, Tobia just did everything by himself, meaning that he was undisturbed. He had Bani, which was the one that I have to give the culprit to, a little bit to Semper as well. But the most, 80% of the fault, I would give it to Bani, that he was just not marking him properly. And he actually did some sort of like a spectacular goal from just the limit of the box. About 18 minutes after, very nice action, finally, probably the only one, if I remember the stats well, the only shot on goal for Genoa, from finally a goal on the scoring sheet, we see Aramo. Then the mess. So a whole bunch of yellow cards coming on, both on Bani and Sabelli, which was something just like unbelievable. To the point that leading to that penalty, which was a little bit iffy, if I may say, where the unfortunate part is like the contact was there. Obviously, the player did accentuate drastically that view, which made us to say, "Hey, no, that's not a penalty." But the truth is also VAR was looking for the possibility of a red card, so we were lucky at least that we did not get a red card against. It would have been another red card that was like really ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the good thing it was at the 43rd minute, Semper actually did save the ball, so it did not go in, and we ended the first half at 1-1. Second half, I think it was even worse than the first half, and it was quite low toned on the first half, but the second half was horrendous.
Yeah.
I don't see... They were basically slow, mechanical, and predictable, to the point that another penalty came in that was a pure penalty by Sabor, and we know... I mean, I'm so used to now seeing all the defenders putting their hands behind their backs, and he was just like playing, I don't know, catching butterflies or something.
Yeah.
And of course, the law of the X, la legge dell'X, has Hernani go to the dischetto, kick that ball, and it goes in, and we have seen nothing after that.
Yeah. I think your analysis and your story is pretty accurate. Alex, do you want to add anything onto it?
Well, we did have, like other times, lots of possession. The difference was we had a shot, just one shot on target. That's a whole difference. We didn't take chances on corners, and they were really played badly. And Reggina, compared to other teams, had more courage than other teams, and they made it, and they deserved the win. That's pretty much sum it up.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's been pretty shocking the way Genoa fell into the trap. So previous to the game, Blessin on the press conference, on a pre-match press conference, stated that he wanted to go to play this game with his usual methods and with the usual mentality of trying to dominate the ball and the game. And he literally fell into the trap that Mr. Inzaghi prepared for him, because leaving us the ball is the ideal way of life for Reggina. They really played a good game on their side, even though they haven't done much. They haven't created many chances, but the few that they had, they managed to capitalize them massively. And what was very disappointing for me, more than the poor performance, was the mentality of the team and the manager as well in this occasion, to not being able to react and to have somewhat a plan B, to change the pattern and the way of the game. So I got left after the game on Monday with lots of worries about the mental strength of the squad. I think you can agree with me, Fabrizio. I think the welcoming that we had from the Reggina fans, with a massive firework display on the stands and the whole atmosphere of the stadium, really, caught us off guard.
Well, yeah. Well, this is what I've been saying continuously also on our podcast, for the fact that when we go and play against all the other teams, especially when we're away, but also when they come to Ferraris, it's the match of the year for them. It's like, I don't want to compare it to it, but even though now Juventus is doing crap, but it's like we're the Juventus of Serie B. So when they come and play against us, they're going to do all their best that they can do. And even on the standings, you saw that as you just said, with all the firework display and whatnot, they were trying to show, we're here too. You're not only the best ones. It's like they're trying to imitate us indirectly, if I may say that way. But did we fall into the trap? Absolutely, we did. And to Alex's point, I think that they played it very much to win it, while we didn't, and that's why we lost.
Yeah, I agree. Alex?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll just repeat what I said before. I mean, it's just it was just a lot of possession, but we didn't do much to score a goal. So I mean, and mentality wise, I mean, yeah, I appreciate the fact that there was a display of whatever fireworks and this and that, but that doesn't need to be. It doesn't have to be an excuse, because I cannot stand the idea of our players, on stadium feeling the pressure, and then when they go away, they feel the pressure there too. They feel the pressure everywhere. They are professionals. They need to be focused, and that's it. They need to have the mental strength aside from athletic strength and everything else, and physical strength and everything else. So they messed it up. It was the only game really played badly by Genoa, and that's it. But that's as simple as that. It's one game, and we need to forget it and move on and hope next game would be as good as the others, because all other games, the only issue that we had was not scoring, but we did have a dozen chances each game. This game, we didn't have any. One.
You're absolutely right, Alex. Like the fact is numbers here, right? So even though we have difficulties in scoring, as long as you're creating chances and you're trying to shoot the ball, and mind you, when are we ever going to shoot that ball outside of the box? I don't know, because it's really rare when that ever happens, but we have to get this ball kicked in towards the goal. So one or another, eventually one of them is going to get in. And this time we didn't do it. But you're absolutely right as well, that we have to see that not because detrimental, like a negative thing, point fingers, it's this fault, it's the coach's fault, I want his head, and so on. No, let's learn from it. There was lots of mistakes from different aspects, not only from the coach's perspective, but definitely also from those 11 kids, guys, or whatever you want to call them on the pitch. And let's learn from it and never do those mistakes again. It was the worst, but it was also the only very bad one that we had out of 12 matches. So let's learn from it and let's go on and show who we are.
Yes. I want to just go on a topic before then we move on, voting our bests and our tops and flops. I don't want it to be an excuse, because we really, as we just said, didn't deliver in terms of performance, so we have no excuses. But don't you think that episode of the second penalty conceded to Reggina was a bit strange? Let's try to recap it. We were attacking, and we lost possession of the ball. Iagello received a kick from behind, and fell on ground. On the counter, Reggina moved the ball forward and managed to get the penalty. Now, don't you think that maybe because there was a foul on Iagello, the ref should have gone back with the VAR and conceded actually a free kick for Genoa instead of allowing the penalty? Fabri?
I don't. I mean, I know VAR, but not to that level. I don't know if they are allowed to go that back. I think for what I remember, there are certain aspects around that action, even though you're saying that it started from there, but that might be considered the previous action to that one. And that's why it probably wasn't even looked at.
Yeah, it possibly is the chance. There's also another thing that caught the eyes of the media, Buon Calcio a Tutti, which is a page that follows Genoa. Apparently, on the penalty situation, one of the Reggina players was offside and should have counted as active offside. Now the situation hasn't gone forward in terms of digging into it and trying to claim for it. But Alex, I think that if that is the case, even though we haven't played well, the club and the board of the club should start to complain a little bit more towards the refs.
I don't know, man. I don't know because I mean, some people say that our chairman Zangrero complained the game before, and as a result, we got 2 penalties again. So I don't really know. I mean, I don't know what happened there because there were a couple of situations like the second penalty, both the alleged offside and the foul before. I don't know whether it was too long before the actual penalty, but well, as a matter of fact, I don't think so. I don't know whether the rules have changed, but I think in the past we had situations when Genoa goals was disallowed because of something happening like a minute beforehand. So I mean, even the handball itself. Tonight we were seeing another game, Juventus, and there was a handball, and it was judged by the VAR in a different manner because it was too close to the opponent, and I felt the same in our box. So I mean, VAR, in my view, is very good, but sometimes they take decisions in one way or the other depending on God knows what.
Yeah, it's really arbitrary as a tool. But again, we have no excuses.
No.
And on this, Fabri, even though it might be hard, I'll give you a very hard challenge right now. Tell me 3 players that you liked in that performance.
Well, that's probably easy because these were the less worse, if I may say. So I'm going to say Aramo because of finally we see him finally making a goal, and he's improving match after match, even though he's not improving as fast as we'd like him to be. Strootman because just he's like our gentleman there in the midfield, even though it was not the best of his matches, he was still one of the least worst, as I mentioned. And just kudos to Semper for having saved that penalty.
That penalty, yeah. And so going forward, Alex, whom do you think has been the 3 worst, or at least the 3 that should really somewhat take blame for the performance?
No, they all been bad apart from the ones that Fabrizio mentioned. So I don't want to pick 3 specifically. Had you asked me the best, I would have said Aramu because he scored, and Semper because he did something good during the match. But aside from those 2, everybody else, I mean, not good at all. So I don't want to pick 3 specifically. You want to do it, Tobia? Go for it.
No, I don't want to pick anyone because I agree with both of you. The performance has been very poor. I just want to talk about 2 episodes that I really didn't like. Episode number 1, after the first penalty kick conceded, he got a yellow card. The yellow card wasn't for a foul he apparently committed, but it was related to over 5 minutes of complaints towards the referee. Now, you are the team captain, so you are allowed to talk to the ref. But after you've seen that the ref conceded the penalty, stop complaining, be smart. You're getting booked. And so he did. So that was, okay, I can understand why he was upset, and it was a difficult situation to deal with. But an experienced player like him should know better and shouldn't got it into that situation of getting a yellow card. The second thing that I didn't like was from Yalchin. In the second half, there's been a moment where Genoa was attacking a little bit better, let's say, or at least trying. This nice ball from the right-hand side was getting forward towards Sabelli. Yalchin was running alone in the middle of the box, and he punched in the stomach a Reggina player. he got booked. The ref stopped the game, and we lost the momentum in that play. I don't know why he did that. Like, that's not something smart to do when you're losing to one, and you need to be more focused, and you need to leave those things behind you. Again, you fell into the Reggina trap in that case. So I really want to see an improvement on mentality, and that leads us to the next two topics. Topic number one: do you think Fabri Blessin will be capable of learning from this experience and changing something on the next game, which then opens the second topic? What do you expect from the game against Como coming up?
Okay, so I can start talking about what if I think that Blessin is flexible enough to learn from his mistakes. I think he is. We don't know enough about him yet because a lot of things are kept in the dark, which is a good thing for certain aspects, but a bad thing under other aspects. But he has shown to us that he has learned from mistakes. When we saw the beginning of the season going in a specific way, I don't know if it was because of mistakes or that he's learned or because of complaints, but he did show us that he did change. He's still learning. We have to give him that, even though he is technically a coach that got hired, and we would expect him to be like, I don't know, like Guardiola or whatnot, but he's not. And I think he's still learning not only the Serie B, which none of us remembered anymore based on the fact of so many years away from it, but also from the Italian in general, football in general. But yeah, so that's the only thing I can say. Like, I think he can change.
What do you think, Alex?
He can learn. He has to learn. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm sure he will adjust, and it will be good. I mean, I don't appreciate people attacking the coach every single game, no matter whether we win, we draw, or we lose. Even worse when we lose. So we need to give him a chance. At the end of the day, we are second in Serie B, together with Reggina, and that's good. I mean, we started off the league, the season, thinking that we would destroy Serie B, but actually, that's the idea that people had, or managers across Serie B had. But I mean, this is just small talk. Is that reality? Is that based on reality? I don't think so. We got a few very good players for Serie B, like Strootman, we said before, but not everybody is that good. I think we're doing well. We do need to aim the first two spots, and I think Blessin has got the ability to do that, and he's got the ability to adjust and to learn himself. So we will see a different game, I think, against Como. So
yeah. Fingers crossed for that. As I said, I've been left a bit worried by the incapability of reacting towards a bad situation. I'm positive and confident that would be a formative experience for the manager and for the squad, because I agree with you, Alex. Lots of fans are complaining and are upset towards the manager, but many forget that are the players that are getting into the pitch, and a couple of players that we got throughout the summer transfer period are not performing as expected yet. I mean, we still haven't seen Aramu and Koda on their top form. We haven't seen yet Sturaro. We barely seen Lusanker due to they are both out for injuries. We haven't seen Badeli and Strootman playing together yet. So yeah, there is definitely room for improvement. I fear that the team somewhat it was feeling a bit too strong and mentally, and I hope that the lesson that we learned in Reggio Calabria, losing so badly, will then be valued against Como. Of course, we all want to win. I think it's vital for us right now to win, to stop all of the polemics and all of the talks going around Genoa. I really don't care if we play a good game. I just want to win, either at the 95th minute with I don't know, an offside goal. I don't care. I want to win this game and move on. We are expecting to see a really full stadium. I don't know if this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing for the players, but yes, they are called to deliver, and I think and I hope they will.
Can I just say one thing?
Of course.
You said we lost badly. I think we played badly, and even despite the fact we played really badly, and that's the only game that we played really badly, we didn't lose badly, because at the end of the day, hadn't the referee given that penalty, we could have had a 1-1 at the end of the game, and that's it. We were very close to not losing that game, despite playing really badly. So even when we played really badly, and the worst game in the season, we just lost 2-1 because of a penalty, which was a bit of an odd penalty, but no.
Yeah, no, I can see your point, Fabri. I don't know if you agree. I meant as badly. I meant we really haven't delivered the usual performance.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
No, I totally agree with what Alex said. Like, it's a bad game, but ultimately we did not we were not showered with goals against, and we were we remember how last year went, right? So we know how bad games are. So it was a bad performance, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that sums it up. Looking forward to talk about Genoa Como on our next episode. Before we close, I want just to remind everyone to follow Triple Whistle on all the platforms, Spreaker, Spotify. We are also on the social media, on Instagram and on Facebook under Giovanni Si Resta. I would like also to remind everyone that Fabrizio as well got a fantastic podcast called La Lanterna, where they talk about Italian football, Genoa mostly as well. And again, under the umbrella of the Giovanni Si Resta family, they are present on Spotify as well. Please listen them up as well. And I would say I got nothing else to add. Thank you very much, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure.
All right, mate. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Cheers.
Forza Genoa. You've listened to Triple Whistle, the after-game podcast of Giovanni Si Resta. See you next week.